not going to stand for this line anymore. I certainly like that.
But it's all soon forgotten.
All right, welcome everybody. We're live here. We all have our crew back together. Woo! And we have the fan crew here as well. And here all the boats live here from the Sailing Academy in Antigua. Ertan, how do you feel? Finally back on land.
Well, I feel great. I'm so glad to be here, and thank you very much, all of you, to come out and welcome me, and also the family too. So, and thanks for the cold beer. I don't know.
Yeah, oh, and I got a big message from Azu. I should give you a big hug and a big kiss.
Oh,
right?
Thank you so much.
She's been thinking of you a lot, of course. So Ertan, how was the experience? How was the crossing?
Well, at times it was long when we were not moving. We had many windless days. We all did, and but as soon as you start sailing, you forget about all those days that you were not moving. So that's it, really. I think I've forgotten it all.
I mean, you're all freshly showered and you smell pretty good, actually.
Thank you very much. Indeed,
So you had a couple of days time to prepare, right?
Yeah, and I still have 20-30 liters of water on board, so I'm not. I actually washed my clothes in fresh water last couple of days, so I wasn't really short of anything. But I'm glad I don't have to eat freeze-dried food tonight. Or for lunch either.
No, so tell us about, like, so you had 70 knots and you had a knockdown. How was so tell us about the experience. How was that?
Well, it was what was surprising was that I had a daily weather report from PredictWind, and there was nothing of that sort showing. And because this was 20 hours of high winds, and you would have thought that the 20-hour storm would show on something. So it was a shock, and I kept thinking it would end, it wouldn't end, and 10 hours later it ended for a short while. I was so glad, and suddenly it started another 10 hours, and the boat moved up and down like an express elevator, and also I had so many furlers here, and a lot of windage, and the boat got knocked down a couple of times. It was a frightening experience, but the boat held up really. It was.
Yeah.
I was just surprised at the intensity of it. Really.
Yeah. So you were down below when it happened, or?
Well, for that one I was, but others I stayed out because all my furlers, they kept getting undone, so I keep having to tie more ropes around it. So it is actually something. It's better, like Judd said, it's better to keep them on deck until you use them. Because there's a lot of windage there, and they eventually unfold when there is a lot of. I mean, they were doing a lot of S's when we had high winds. So, in spite of, I made them quite tight. But all these things you live and learn. Next time I will do it slightly differently. So.
Yeah, so this was kind of like a 3,000-mile learning experience for the big journey that's coming up in 2025, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are certainly a couple of things I would like to change, and.
What would you like to change?
Well, in this boat, your wind vane is your lifeline.
Yeah.
You wouldn't disagree with me, would you, Jack?
No, not even a little bit.
And when things go bad, you put your wind vane and you go down below, and the boat takes you to the direction you put on there. And the problem is that all these nuts and bolts so little that you're always afraid it's going to break all the time. And I had this feeling all the time. And if that thing breaks, because you can't really use electrical pilots when the seas are big, it just will no good. No, and so that is something that, because I use the hydro vanes on 3 other boats, I know that it is really triple oversized for this boat in every way, and it is very heavy, but it is almost like a lifeline. For me it is anyway. And that's, the other thing is I always had very little electricity. I didn't run any chart plotters, the transponders. Only thing I had electricity for was the electric pilot, and charging my iPhone so I could use the sat phone. That's all I used it for. So I did like electricity, and when we didn't have sun for 3 days, it literally came down to almost as nothing.
So what did you do for fun then when you had when you couldn't play around with the phone, you couldn't watch movies really? So did you read books, or what did you do?
Well, I had a lot of stuff on the iPad.
Right.
Awful lot of stuff, podcasts and series as well, and so I watched those, and I don't know, time, because the nights are so long, it's 12.
13-hour nights.
Yeah, it's endless.
Crazy. Lasts forever.
Yes, endless the night.
So what did you do in the nights, Jack? Like,
I did a lot of sleeping at night, but you know, I also laid in the bunk a lot and stared at nothing, and then set an alarm for every 30 minutes. Look out, see what's up, put your head up, see if there's any lights around you. Go back, and just lay there and stare. At night, you don't want to use any lighting or anything like that because it just burns up electricity, and you never have the guarantee of good charging the next day. So you're always, I had as good a charging as anybody, but you no matter what, you're still always in conservation mode. You're always trying to save.
So Ertin, what about food and water and so on? Did you have more than plenty?
I came with 30 liters, perhaps a little bit too much, 30 liters of water. And I still had plenty of food and so on. So I think I had about nearly 7-8 weeks of provisioning when I left. Only because it just worked out that way. I wasn't really looking for it. So there's no problem about that. Food and water is not an issue really.
So you're excited now for 2025, coming back in a year and getting the boat ready to bring it all around the world?
Yes, I'm obviously first one looking forward to this from here to Panama. I'm sure Jack is thinking about it too.
Yeah, I haven't. I've regressed a little bit on.
There you go. We got two mini globe racers here.
Yeah. Well,
but because I was thinking, because when you are in boat, you always think about all these scenarios and I think about the scenario about Michael and Keith, and I thought about the scenario about Jack, and I said to myself, it wouldn't be so terrible idea if Jack did just in his mind to convince everyone he's just going to do the 10-day, 2-week from here to Panama and then see where it goes.
Yeah.
And that is what I thought, and I think it would be fantastic. Then you are not making a long-term plan. You're just making a 2-week holiday plan.
Right.
And boat is he's not going to use it for leisure activities, so it can stay here, come back here, and I think it'd be quite interesting trip to Panama from here.
Well, and I'm also thinking if I find a partner, they could qualify from Lanzarote or from Lagos to Antigua. They'd be qualified for the MPR next year, and then we could swap legs all the way around the world. You just do half. I do half. He does half, and then you're still going to every stop. You're either leaving or coming back, and you still have a half a year of working and earning and whatever you're doing. So there's a possibility of that. So if anybody's interested, hit me up on Facebook.
Because it is for a young man like Jack, it is a huge commitment time-wise.
Yeah.
But when you think about the small bite sizes, I think it's doable for most people, and I think it just sounds so romantic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because when it's all said and done, you really want to be able to say, I sailed around the world. Because that's an awesome thing to be able to say.
So you got to do it on your own.
Yeah, and that's why
Right.
the other thing is only a possibility.
Okay.
I haven't decided on it. I'm going to
Okay.
go home and sit on the couch for a month
Right.
and see how.
So it's all going to start here in 2025. We're here at the Sailing Academy in Antigua, who really kindly gave us free boats and free berthing. So a big thanks to them. And then next year we have the next Transat. So we're going to be back next year with the next bunch of skippers to be qualified for the mini globe race, and then 2025 the boats are going to be taken all around the world.
And hopefully there'll be a lot more people next year.
I think
leaving
there
here.
have to be. Yeah.
And so it would be quite interesting.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome.
You'd be up for it, I think.
Yeah. I got to go home and sit on the couch for a month. But to see this dock lined up with 15 of these things would be awesome. Would be so awesome.
All right, Ertin, final words to sign out here?
Thank you very much for Arzu making everything possible for me. I love you so much.
Beautiful. All right.
Welcome, Ertan.
Welcome, Ertin. Well done, mate. And while we're here, we can actually do like a little dock walk and just have a look at the boats. So here's Trekker. Second time across the Atlantic now. Everything looks pretty well in shape. Well, the cockpit is a bit messy though, but and oh, look at that, the outboard is still running. So yeah, that's Trekker with a little dome there. He said he had one of the wind vane, so that's fixed up again. So he put the dory vane back on, so that's looking good. And then we have Keith here with Marikai, looking very nice, looking all good in shape as well. There's Sun Bear, and as I said, we're gonna be doing a little live the next day. So I'm just gonna film a little video tomorrow or the day after, talking about his best, his takeaways from the race, what to change on the boat, what will be tips and tricks to make it better. And then there we have right now Jack Johnson, the winning boat. So all here, and the crew is here. There's a happy wife. How are you both feeling now, being reunited after a month?
It was great.
Felt very rested because we had so much anticipation with Keith and Michael arriving, and then Jack arriving earlier now, or Tan arriving today, and it was just non-stop arrivals, which was fantastic that they all arrived in such a short amount of time considering the mileage that they covered.
And then stuff like I'm like, well, catch me up on what you've done. And she breaks out her phone and she's got like 2 or 3 lines written on what she's like, oh, I saw our friends this day, I went to dinner, we did this for Thanksgiving, we did this for Christmas, this. And she's like, well, and you? And I'm like, I just sailed a little bit.
Did he actually have a special meal on Christmas? Did he have anything special? Did he have any? You didn't.
I had a shower in the morning.
You had a wow, okay.
I had a shower.
That's nice.
Just thick suds everywhere. It was great.
He said he had in the logbook just kind of taken notes each day, so that's kind of his journaling, that figure out if there's anything more than the messages that were sent to you, if he did anything more than that.
Oh, yeah, there's like, saw whale carcass,
yeah.
whale, suspicious fishing boat sighted me and then ran away.
There was a surprise when Michael came in, because he was a bit surprised that I posted all the messages he sent.
Yes.
Those were
Those were for
PC
Lutz's
enough.
eyes and ears
Yeah.
only. Director only.
So I misused the friendship and just published everything publicly.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm not running for public office anytime soon.
Right.
I think audiences and followers got a glimpse into Michael's personality and humor.
Yeah, that there is
Absolutely.
no wind.
The highs and lows of a transatlantic crossing. Right.
And it was I actually showed him the messages that on Instagram, the stories that he posted each day, and it was pretty interesting to see Michael's messages and Keith's messages kind of following similar patterns, sort of like no wind, when is this going to end, when is this going to end?
No
So they were
wind.
having the same experiences, so that was kind of nice.
And it was just like Jack. He was like, his messages were just the same.
You know,
Okay.
preset messages can only go so far.
Right. No problem. All fine.
Yeah, you
Brilliant.
think it was Jack was getting built by the letter.
So Guy, how were your first days back on land?
Oh,
You had a big full English yesterday, yeah? That was
so
great.
nice to
And
be
a
back
big
on
beer.
land. Yeah, to have a beer and nice food, amazing. So
Right.
I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah, beautiful day of Caroline here, right?
Yeah, really nice to have my
Family,
sister here.
yeah.
That was a really nice surprise. So yeah.
And got access to a big shower in a hotel room, which was nice as well.
Yeah, slept in a proper bed last night, which was really nice after doing, I don't know, cause I've slept on the boat since the start of the qualifier, so I've probably done like 50 nights or something like that. So yeah,
Right. Yeah, you've been spending 2 months on the boat.
that was a long time. So yeah, no, really nice to be here.
So
enjoying it.
still no regret to not put a toilet on? No, it's fine if you're alone, huh?
There was one time I was going to the toilet and the swell was coming side on, and then quite a big wave just came out of nowhere and I just got absolutely soaked. head to toe.
Soaked
And I
on the
sat
toilet.
there thinking, what am I doing?
What am I doing here? Right.
But no, apart from that, all good.
So brilliant. Okay. And you're gonna ship the boat back, right? You're gonna figure that out in the next days, and
Yeah, I'm going to figure that out today and tomorrow, get that squared away,
Right.
and then get a flight home and arrange getting the boat back. So.
And you're gonna keep the boat in England then, and sail around in England a bit, or what's the plan?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure at the moment. I live right on the coast, so yeah, I'd love to do some day sailing and short cruise and that. Certainly take my daughter out and stuff. So yeah, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I'll see.
Cool.
So,
All right, mate. Well, are we gonna catch up later again as
Yeah,
well?
yeah.
And here we have Mary signing off. Mary, how are you? Yeah, still happy to have your son back, or is he going on the
very-
nerves already?
Well, very happy to have him back. I know that we're parting again. I leave on the 2nd, so I know that we're parting again, and then I will just hope that he will put his AIS on so I can track them as they go back towards Florida.
Yes, right, because their plan is to take the boat up island hopping to Florida, right?
Well, at least to the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but the AIS does chirp all the time, and so it may only be Anita's phone I can track.
Yeah, right.
when they're on
they won't have a
land.
tracker on, that's true. But are you gonna reunite with them in the US or on the
Well,
other
they'll
boat?
eventually come to me.
Yeah, but that's better, right?
That's where home is.
Brilliant,
Yes.
right.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Well-
been exciting though.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And now we have them all in, and we can go for dinner tonight, and that's gonna
Yes.
be good fun.
Probably the most exciting New Year's I've had in eons.
There you go. I think there's no better way to sign off than with that quote. Thank you very much, Mary. And so we're gonna sign off here and be back with some videos in the next days. We're just gonna have a good time tonight, and we have a table reserved at 5:30. So we're gonna have a little family dinner, and then we have a New Year's party. And I wish you all a very, very happy New Year. Thank you all for following the 580, and I think maybe I can get the camera around, and maybe we do a final goodbye to everybody. Hey! Happy New Year!
Happy New